Hello again, card community. This is RJ back with another video for you. Appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to stop by and watch my video. I greatly appreciate it. If you find it worthy, please like and subscribe. And if you take time, I'd appreciate it if you comment below. Tell me what you like about it, what you don't like, how I can improve, what you'd like to see. Just tell me what you think about what I'm doing. So let's jump right into it. All right, so starting off today, my random Mike Schmidt collectible. This is from 1986. It is a child style, I hope this works, Halloween mask of Mike Schmidt. They gave these out at the ballpark in 1986, I believe. It no longer has the rubber band. It still has a staple, so maybe one day I'll take the time to replace the rubber band. If you ever see some old highlight films from the Phillies, one of the things they did is they had Larry Anderson wear this mask, because back then Larry Anderson had a mustache just like Mike Schmidt, and if you didn't know anybody, you might have thought it was a mask of Larry Anderson, but it's Mike Schmidt and everybody knows it. So this is part of my collection. You can find them occasionally on eBay, not often, but they're out there. So this is a unique thing I have. My random baseball collectible today is this 1995 Babe Ruth commemorative big rig truck. This was the 100th anniversary of Babe Ruth's birth. His estate actually came out with a specialized logo. And this right here is a kind of like a jumbo matchbox truck kind of a thing, just to celebrate the 100th birthday of Babe Ruth. Limited edition of 1,000. Not worth a lot, things that aren't Mickey Mantle rookie cards in our business really don't hold their value. But I think this is a cool little collectible, since I'm a big fan of baseball history. The 1995 Babe Ruth birth anniversary big rig truck is a nice addition to my collection. And then, like always, I just want to share a couple cards with you. Ooh, almost forgot. Let's do the trivia question today. Here's today's trivia question for everybody out there. Simple question, I think. Wasn't too long ago, the Cubs hadn't won a World Series in over 100 years. They won the World Series in 2016. Wasn't too long ago, the Red Sox hadn't won a World Series forever. Since 1918, they hadn't won a World Series. Then come along 2004, they started a run where they won 3 different World Series. So they're back in the hunt again. And teams like the Astros, the Royals, the Astros had never won a World Series. They finally did. The Angels back in 2003 had never won a World Series. They finally did. But mostly it's the Cubs and the Red Sox. Since the Cubs and the Red Sox finally did win a World Series, they have recent victories. But what team now has the longest drought of not having won a World Series? And this team precedes any team that is an expansion club. So, for example, you can't choose the Brewers, who've never been in the World Series, who've never won a World Series, because this team has been around longer and hasn't won since before that time. You can't choose the Mariners, who've never even appeared in a World Series. Same thing. This team has been around longer and hasn't won a World Series since before the Mariners existed. So what team now holds the record for having not won a World Series in the longest? And the prize for getting this one right is this Ted Williams Museum Collection from Topps 2020, numbered 11 out of 50. So if you're a Teddy Ball Game fan, what I have here is the Museum Collection Ted Williams. I guess it's like a red parallel, numbered out of 50. Museum Collection from Topps 2020. So just send me an email, again, ronjack02 at Yahoo. I'll put it in the description of this video so you can easily access it. If you're the first person to send me that email with that answer, I will send you out that museum collection card. Now, let's just share a couple things from my collection today. The last time I shared something out of my personal collection was from the 1990s. I'm going to go back a little bit to the 1980s now and show you some things I think are cool. What you have here is the 1983 Donruss All-Star set. That's what they called it. It's a set of cards, 60 of them, that are larger than normal size. Let me grab that Ted Williams card. This is a standard size card, the Ted Williams one. You can see these are 5.5 by 3.5, whereas standard card is 2.5 by 3.5. So these cards, there's a 60 card set here. I have them all. These are the 1983 Donruss All-Stars, and it's like every other card. It's a picture on the front, stats are on the back, and this one actually has their full name, Eddie Clarence Murray. I'm not going to read everybody's full name, but I'm going to flip through the cards real quick. Eddie Murray, Dwight Evans, Reggie Jackson, Greg Luzinski. He was of the White Sox at that time. Larry Herndon, who doesn't sound familiar, but he was a pretty good player at the time that these were made, obviously. Al Oliver, great batting champion. Guys really probably should be on the Hall of Fame. Forget the dogs barking if you hear them in the background. Bill Buckner, he was a great player regardless of that 86 World Series issue. Jason Thompson, I honestly don't even know why he's in this card set, but there he is. Andre Dawson, a Hawk. Greg Minton was a decent pitcher at the time, believe it or not. Terry Kennedy was an all-star catcher for the Padres back in the early 80s. Phil Niekro, Hall of Famer. Willie Wilson had a great career, even though I appreciate him striking out to end the World Series in 80. Thanks, Willie. Johnny Bench. Ron Guidry had a great career with the Yankees. Hal McRae was an incredible batter. He was actually a hitting coach for the Phillies during the Terry Francona era of the Phillies manager. Damasco Garcia, don't even know this guy. Gary Ward, I've heard of, but that's about all I can say. Cecil Cooper was a great slugger for the Brewers back in 82. Keith Hernandez, we all know Keith Hernandez. Ron Say shares the rookie card with Mike Schmidt. Ricky Henderson, everybody knows Ricky. Nolan Ryan, perennial all-star, everybody knows Ryan. Steve Carlton. John Stearns was a decent catcher for the Mets early in the 80s. Obviously, they got Carter soon after this, and you never heard from John Stearns again. Jim Sundberg, another great catcher. Joaquin Andujar was a really good pitcher in the early 80s. Gaylord Perry, everybody knows Gaylord Perry, Hall of Famer. Jack Clark, great slugger, never, always hampered by knee injuries, Jack Clark, though. Bill Madlock, fantastic batter for the Pirates, later on the Giants. Pete Rose, everybody knows Pete. Mookie Wilson, who was at bat when that World Series game ended in 86. Raleigh Fingers, Hall of Famer. Lonnie Smith, the ever-traveling Lonnie Smith, got into so many World Series. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. Tony Pena is a fantastic catcher. Dave Winfield. Tim Lawler, don't know much about Tim Lawler. Rod Carew, Hall of Famer. Toby Hara was a decent slugger at one time. Buddy Bell, pretty good player in his day. Bruce Sutter, Hall of Famer. George Brett, everybody knows George Brett. Him and Mike Schmidt were the hot duo at the 80s. Carlton Fisk, Yaz. Dale Murphy. Bob Horner was a slugger for a brief period in the 80s and 70s. Dave Concepcion, one of the longest tenured Reds there ever was Dave Concepcion. Dave Steep, a fantastic pitcher who finally got his no-hitter for the Blue Jays. Kent Herbeck for the Twins. Lance Parrish, he was on the Phillies briefly in 87, 88. Joe Niekro, Phil's brother, was a quality pitcher too. Cal Ripken. Fernando. Richie Zisk was a decent player at one time. Leon Durham, famous error in the 84 playoffs. Robin Yount, my man Schmitty. Missed one. Gary Carter, Fred Lynn, and the Checklist. So that was a nice little subset. These were 1 to a pack. You can still get them today, sealed packs. Every once in a while, you could probably find a box of packs Actually, I think it came more than one to a pack, but you can still find the packs and boxes on eBay. You could probably get the whole set if you wanted to. I actually have an extra one of those sets. Another thing I want to show you is a little unique. I'm also a baseball historian, big fan of baseball. This right here, I'm going to pick you up and let you look at this. This is my 1988 Pacific 8 Men Out, the movie baseball card set. They made a set of cards of the movie. So if you're familiar with the movie, you'll recognize a lot of these scenes. These are literally the actors who played the 8 White Sox who got banned. John Cusack was Buck Weaver. And it's 88 cards that basically tell the story of the movie, tries to tell the story of the World Series issue. Here's a card of the actor who played Ray Schalk. He was a catcher, actually in the Hall of Famer, who wasn't part of the fix. What's great about this set, it has all the players. Missed that one. Kennesaw Mountain Landis was the commissioner. This is the Say It Ain't So Joe picture right there. It has then pictures of the actual people. That's Ban Johnson, who was the league president for the American League at the time. That's Kennesaw Mountain Landis, the commissioner. That's Charles Comiskey, the chief owner. Then they got pictures of the two teams. These are actually the Reds players. And they got all of the main players from the team back then. And you'll see there's a couple Hall of Famers who were on the Reds in that team. Ed Roush is a Hall of Famer. Pat Moran was the manager. I thought Epirixie was in here because Epirixie was a pitcher for the Phillies at one time. He was actually on this team, but I didn't see his picture. There's Red Faber was a White Sox. He was clean. He didn't pitch because I understand he was hurt and he wasn't able to pitch in the World Series. That's one of the other reasons the Sox probably lost, because he wasn't able to pitch. Dickie Kerr, who won a couple games and he was clean. And you get into the Shane O'Collins. Eddie Collins was clean. He's a Hall of Famer. There's Ray Schalk, what he actually looked like. And you go through there, that's Buck Weaver's real picture. All right. I could go through all of them, and that's, there's Joe Jackson at the end. And then the Conlon collection, 1992, had cards of the Black Sox scandal, and I just kind of filled in the rest of the book with some of the people out of that set. So that's my Pacific 8 Men Out card set. Actually, I thought there was 88. There's actually 110 cards in this set. You can still get it online. It's really inexpensive. You can probably get it for 10 bucks if you find it on eBay if you really want it. But I love baseball history so much. I picked this card set up a long time ago and love it to death. So that's my video today for you all. Appreciate you watching. Remember, if you know the trivia question, who's the longest team without a World Series victory, I'll send you this Ted Williams Topps Museum 11 of 50. All right. I appreciate everybody taking the time to stop by and watch. There's a lot of channels out there. Thank you for stopping by, taking the time to watch mine. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you soon.